r/ask Reddit. What's an unspoken rule that is universally accepted? Never propose at someone else's wedding. Never. Also, don't announce your pregnancy at someone's wedding. Looking at you, Harry and Meghan. Also, don't propose to someone while getting someone else pregnant. If you work in childcare and see a baby walk for the first time, you don't say anything to the parent. Okay, dead set, never do this. I watched a mother throw her handbag across a room and break down in tears while saying she was a bad mother for not spending enough time with her child. She had been back at work for 3 months, 3 days a week, single parent, no support. It breaks their hearts. It's so sad to watch. As a new mom myself, I cannot imagine missing my daughter's first steps. I watched a mom come pick her son up, saw him walking, and asked how long he'd been doing it. The new girl said a few, and I said, oh my god, is insert name here finally walking? He's been pulling up all day, but hasn't taken a step. I acted like I'd never seen him do it. He'd been walking for days and she had him in care 7 days a week 9-5. He went to bed at 7. So she literally never got to spend time with him. Her eyes lit up when she realized she saw his first steps and dimmed when she realized she saw them in a daycare setting. She said, I was so afraid I'd miss his first steps. You wait for everyone to get off the elevator before you try to get on. Now if only people obeyed that. Just plow through. There is no seating arrangement in a university class, but no one should sit in my seat. One of my high school teachers assigned us all seats in September, just till I learn your names. Then you can move wherever you want. Come springtime, he gleefully pointed out that we were all still sitting exactly where he'd put us. Apparently it was a little experiment he did every year, and he'd never once had a class change up their seats. What if he just never learned their names? When using a stud finder, you must first point it at yourself and go beep. That, and when you first grab some tongs while grilling, you must give them a few test clicks to ensure they work. And when you first pick up a hand drill, you give it a couple of blips before doing anything with it. If you're watching garbage Facebook videos in the break room and other people are trying to enjoy their hour of peace, wear some ducking headphones, Alana. Maybe this one should be spoken once in a while. Possibly screamed depending on the person. When you enter an elevator, you face the door. Now I want to walk into an elevator and just face the back wall. On my daily commute there is an elevator with different exits on different levels, so I always go in and face the exit door for the street level. All the tourists look at me as if I'm a maniac, and when the door opens they all have to turn around with a look of mild distress on their face, while I exit first. You don't reject your grandma's offer of food, at least in Mexico. P.S. Thanks a lot for the gold. I've been having a couple of rough days and my phone buzzing all afternoon is making me smile a lot. Gives 15k plus people Mexican hugs. You don't reject any grandma's offer for food. Do not reject food, or you'll feel the wrath. My dad was pretty religious, and his mother wasn't. My dad stopped over at my grandparents' house when my grandmother had just made a cake, and she offered him a slice. It was a religious holiday that day, and my dad explained to her that he couldn't oblige. BC he was fasting due to the holiday. My grandmother was furious at my dad for not eating that cake, so much so that she threw her cake cutting knife in disgust, and it ended up sticking vertically up from the floor. My dad was always super mild-mannered, but ended up marrying my mom, who also had a fiery personality. I guess he was used to that personality type. LOL. You do not initiate small talks with someone with their headphones on. I had a girl do this to me and my dumbass took it as a sign she was into me, because you must really want to chat with someone if you do something like that. Well, what did she want? Don't duck with the people who make your food. Shit, then I guess I'll have to stop ducking my wife. I wish my family obeyed this rule. Went for lunch with my sister once, who works in a cafe and knows everything. We ordered and paid at the counter and they told us to sit down and they'd bring the food out to us. Perfectly normal interaction as I remember it. My sister sat down and started talking about how that was unacceptable service. At her work they always smile and say thank you with eye contact. 2 minutes later the woman who served us came out, put her food on the table, bent down to my sister's eye level, smiled and said the most sarcastic thank you I've ever heard in my life. As embarrassed as I was, it was a beautiful moment and I'm glad I got to witness it. Don't wear white to another woman's wedding. But what if it is an emergency? Like for instance, what if I look really good in white? Then you splash yourself with red wine. If you have two friends over who don't know each other, you don't leave them alone. The exception to this rule is if you are trying to set them up. Or if you have to pee, they can survive 5 minutes. How long does it take you to pee? Edit. Jesus, this blew up way more than I expected. When a child hands you a toy phone, you pretend to have a conversation. Hello? Dot. Yes, that's me. Who is? Dot. How did you get this number? You usually call me on my cell phone. Dot. Oh, I see. You're wiretapping children now, too? Dot. Yes, I suppose that does make it easier to know when they're awake. Dot. To be completely honest, it's hard to decide between naughty and nice. Dot. Absolutely, sir. Anyway, how are the reindeer? Dot. Oh, that's. Dot. Yes, I know that venison tastes delectable. But, Dot. Of course not. Mr. Claus, I would never dream of questioning your dinner choices. Dot. If you don't mind me asking, how will you drive the sleigh? Dot. What, like the ones being developed by Boston Dynamics? Dot. That's terrifying. Sir. Dot. Yes, sir. Definitely. You have a good day. 2. Goodbye, click, that was a friend. I think you should clean your room. This is fantastic. You only hold the door open for someone if they are within a 2-meter radius. Edit. Of course I meant 2 miles. That's the rule in an ideal world. The actual rule seems to be, only hold the door open for someone if they're within a 2-meter radius or you've made eye contact with them no matter how far away they are. I've started looking down at my feet or my phone when I'm still really far from a door that someone is going in. Because if they turn around and look me in the eye, they aren't moving from holding that door even if it takes me a full 30 seconds to get there. Open bracket. I also never run to get to doors that people are holding open for me from too far away. We just need an accepted hand sign that says go ahead on in. No need to hold the door for me. Then you make eye contact and then they excuse you. In the house of a hanged man, don't talk about rope. Old proverb. Meaning don't dig up old, nasty stuff with people you know will be uncomfortable offended. Edit. This doesn't apply to people trying to make a point, but rather about politeness. Can you send this to my parents please? Do not, I repeat, do not go through someone's nightstand drawers. Unless you're prepared never to unsee what you may see. When choosing a urinal, if you possibly can, leave at least one between you and the next guy. No peeking, no talking, unless you go up to the short one on the end, unzip, and a few seconds later go, oh the water is cold today. Oh the water is cold today. I just came back from a trip to America. I couldn't help but notice that all of the urinals are just so damn low. Could this be the reason? Pretty sure it's just for short people. You don't microwave fish in the break room at work. You also shouldn't eat a tuna sandwich on your first day of a new job. Then you're stuck with the nickname Big Tuna. If someone asks if you have a pad or tampon and you have one, give it to her. You'll want someone to do the same for you. Unless you are also on your period and it's your last one. Then you offer to help find more. Yes, I have searched buildings for a tampon for other people when I'm out. If you invite a Baptist fishing and you don't want to share your beer, invite 2 Baptists. I've always heard this joke with Mormons. If you don't want the Mormon to drink all your beer, invite 2 Mormons. I heard a similar joke from a Baptist preacher once. What's the difference between a Baptist and a Methodist? Baptists don't recognize each other in the liquor store. There is always a hidden secret behind the waterfall. Usually a shrine or a korok seed. If you offer something, you offer twice only. If they say no both times, you don't push it. Yeah, that's definitely not how it works in Russian culture. Every end of a meal at a restaurant is basically a back and forth upstaging event. I got this. No, please allow me. Listen, I ate a lot more than you did. Let it be on me. Oh, come on. You can pay next time. Let me get this one. 5 minutes later in the SpongeBob narrator voice sigh. Well, Alright, I guess you can pay this time. In some Middle Eastern cultures, at least for children, only accepting on the third offer is the rule, even if you really want it. If you notice something on someone that can be fixed within 5 minutes, tell them, shirt stain, food and teeth etc. Meet a cashier, you have a little something right here, open bracket, indicates area of face, pissed off cashier, it's a piercing, me to myself, that went well. Don't duck with the receptionist, they decide who sees who. I would never say this to her face, but she's a wonderful person and a gifted artist. Why wouldn't you say that to her face? Don't giggle at the awesome farts that you hear someone ripping in a public bathroom. Also, don't talk to strangers at a urinal, please. I was in a bathroom last week and someone ripped an earth-shattering fart. The dude one stall over yelled, "You sunk my battleship," and everyone laughed. Total dudes LOL. Don't start shit at a wedding or funeral. We don't fight at weddings. The internet is forever, so be damn ducking careful what you put on it, especially if your real name face details are attached. People will find them and bring them up at the worst possible times. A few seconds of thinking about if it's really a good idea to post that comment or whatever can do a lot of good. You say it's forever, but everything I've posted on Google Plus for the last 6 years will be gone in 10 months. When making eye contact with someone from a distance, you nod down if you don't know them, and nod up if you do. This is something I didn't realize I did subconsciously. I just did both nods, and realize I do them only in those situations. The nod up can also be used as a "the duck you looking at" for strangers. Push in your damn seat. We don't share toothbrushes. My dad once used my electric toothbrush to clean his dentures, and didn't understand why I was FKN fuming at him. If someone you don't know suddenly strikes up a desperate conversation and seems to be wary of their surroundings while on a night out, they are your best friend. Because they're probably being harassed by another drunken patron and need some backup, and I don't care if it's your mortal enemy. You act like you love them because they've got problems. You do not ignore someone like that. Edit. Holy shit. What did I wake up to this morning? I'm loving all the stories about heroes being heroes. To the people who say they wouldn't help their mortal enemy, I'm not even mad. I'm disappointed. This is not the person Mr. Rogers believes you can be. Nobody deserves to be sexually, physically harassed or intimidated. And the obligatory wire gold, thank you. This happened to me not 2 weeks ago. My wife, son and I were at Target doing some shopping, and a young girl, 15ish, came over and looked scared, but started talking to my wife. Wife picked up what was going on immediately and gave her a big hug and pretended she was family she hadn't seen in a long time. The girl's mom was at the store next door, so she was there alone, and said that a creepy older dude was following her around the store. She was shaking, she was so scared. I went to scope him out, but he was gone. We hung out with her till her mom showed up. It was scary. I will never not help you if you come up to me acting like we've been besties since kindergarten. Please, don't become a statistic just because you were afraid to come up and chat with me. I'm mostly harmless, like the earth, and I'm happy to be your buddy until the danger has passed. Oh, and if you need a walk to your car, a drive home, or even just a hug, just ask. If a child shoots you with a toy gun, you act hurt or pretend to die for them. No questions asked. I learned this when I became an aunt, LOL. Yeah, I did this and did it too convincingly. My cousin who is 4 hit me with a sword. I drop dead. Her giggles fade. She looks around and I can tell she was feeling uncomfortable, so I got up and acted like everything was okay, and she screamed her head off while running away crying. Edit. I'm now as convinced as my cousin that I'm a zombie. Never expect a friend to fix your car for free or for a 6-pack. Ask them how much they'll charge you. If they do ask for beer, ask their favorite. Don't buy cheap shit. You offer me a 12-pack, I am fixing your shit even if I don't know you. If you accidentally bump into someone, you apologize. In the US anyway. In Canada, if you bump into someone, you both say sorry until you climax. Edit. Thank you to the kind person who gifted me this treasure. OMG. I just climaxed thinking about all the sorries I've just given. In England, if you bump into someone, you both freeze and pretend it didn't happen until you climax. Zipper rule. When driving and two lanes become one, drivers merge from alternate lanes one at a time, right left like a zipper. Too bad no one seems to know this. One thing I hate about living in the South is that people think they're being polite by letting multiple cars merge in front of them, but they're actually causing their lane to stop and back up even further. Many times on my drive home, I yell out of exasperation, "That's not a zipper. That's not what a zipper looks like." You don't flirt with your friend's girlfriend or the girl he's trying to get with. Or girl he's trying to get with. What if he didn't call dibs? Closing your mouth when you chew. To be fair, that is a spoken rule by most moms. In a long awkward hallway as you walk to someone and they walk toward you, you don't make eye contact or make any kind of greeting till you're about 10-15 feet apart. Security guard here. We have a really long hallway where there is access for the cafeteria, upstairs conference areas, cleaning crew storage area, and one of the main working areas. On inspection paperwork, it's seriously called long corridor. I dread entering that hallway and noticing someone walking out of a room at the other end. I will seriously look back and forth at the walls, check out the ceiling, etc. until that person is 2 meters away before I either acknowledge them or, depending on their facial expression, via a very quick glance. Don't say anything because they're at work and probably annoyed with life and don't want to talk. If you're securing something in a truck bed or trailer, you must always say that ain't going anywhere once you've finished. Don't shit in people's cereal. I've lived my life by this rule and it's worked out well so far. If you are done using the microwave and there is time left, you must clear off the remaining time. Don't be a savage. The problem magically goes away when the person who's there to fix it shows up. You don't take pictures of kids that aren't yours. If someone comes to your home and they are upset, you offer them a hot beverage. If I'm showing you a pic of my crush on Instagram, don't double tap to ducking zoom. I row always in that order. The ablout reduplication rule. Tic-tac-toe, ticky-tacky, knick-knack, big bad wolf, tick-tock, chip-chop, flip-flop, sing-song. This rule is also superior to the order of adjectives, which goes opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, purpose, e.g. Big Bad Wolf violates order of adjectives, size, opinion, but obeys ablout reduplication. Edit, gilded, row. Thank you, kind stranger. I'm glad everyone enjoyed this odd little grammar lesson so much. When using tongs, you must always click them together a couple times. The second you insult me past a certain degree, everything's on the table and is fair game. If you call me super skinny and make toothpick jokes, I am going to call you Fat Lauren. It goes both ways. Wait, this might just be me. If you make fun of a disability, I can make fun of your miscarriage, Karen. The only difference is one was there at birth and one wasn't, Karen. There will always be a demilitarized urinal between two urinating men, unless overpopulation becomes a factor, in which case participating piddlers will look either straight forward or directly down at their dingle dongle. Don't ask the IT dept for help with your personal device unless you are somehow able to compensate them. If your friend lacks money and you go out with them and they refuse to eat, pay for it. May be biased, but I always make sure my boys eat. Everyone seems to observe eyebrow raising etiquette, much like the finger wave or the bro nod, which moves upward for recognition and downward for respect. There are many subtleties to the eyebrow raise. They can be summed up as follows. Raising both eyebrows a small amount for a short period of time denotes the meaning: I recognize you as either an ally or a non-threat, and I am aware of the fact that we shall likely pass one another numerous times throughout the day. Raising both eyebrows a large amount for a short period of time denotes the meaning: this is either the second or greater time that we have passed one another in a brief span, or else I am expressing knowledge of a mutual experience to which we are likely both dedicating some thought, comma. Note, when combined with a muted smile, the meaning also adopts either a sympathetic or warning tone. Raising both eyebrows a small or large amount for a long period of time denotes the meaning: I am expressing curiosity, concern, or skepticism about an event in which we are both involved or about to become involved. Raising the left eyebrow a small amount for any length of time denotes the meaning. I am expressing either suspicion or curiosity about an event or circumstance in which I have just caught you. Raising the right eyebrow a small amount for any length of time denotes the meaning. I suspect you to be involved in something intriguing, illicit, or just vaguely naughty, and I am tentatively interested in becoming involved. Raising either the left or right eyebrow a large amount for any length of time denotes the meaning. Either this facial expression is a comical affectation, or I am a goofus. Now, there may be some regional and situational variation, but for the most part, well, this just seems to be an unspoken rule that everyone just learns to accept. TL. Doctor, everyone enacts established eyebrow etiquette. At least one of you just emulated each of the expressions that I listed. If a 2-year-old speaks gibberish to you, you reply with either "you think so" or "thank you for telling me." If you're the last one to see that the trash can is full, you are obligated to empty it. Edit. I meant first. I got 4 hours of sleep, please cut me a break. Don't ruin Santa Claus for little kids. Don't eat smelly food on public transport. Someone on Facebook once posted their bowel movement to see if anyone knew why it was showing a greenish hue. I removed this person from my connections after commenting that it was an unwritten rule not to post your shit on Facebook. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.